Good morning, grade 12. Hello, everybody. Okay, today we're gonna go over unit 2, listening to, yeah? So you already supposedly watched the video at home and it's the activities in your textbook. Now today we're going to review that just as we every week as we do. It is important that you ask questions about the things you don't understand yet. This is the third time you're going to go over the material, and it is super important to make sure that after today's Zoom meeting, you really understand, okay? Today, for listening and speaking, grade 12, you do not have a post-test, only for reading and writing. So next week we will be doing reading too, so then you will have a post-test, but not for today. Yeah. If you have any questions about your writing project or your speaking project, please do not hesitate to ask. Yeah, during our Zoom time, you can ask as much as you want. You can express your opinion, tell me what's on your mind, tell me what you want to say. You can just freely respond to any of the questions, any of the activities. Yeah. Take your chance to practice your speaking. Okay. If something is still hard for you, also please do not be shy, yeah, to ask. And if it is hard for you to ask during our Zoom meeting because of everybody being around, then you can also just send a private chat to me. That is not a problem. The cool thing though is when you ask during our Zoom meeting is that everybody can hear it. So most of the questions that you guys have, everybody has, and everybody would want to hear. Okay, so let's go to page 42. Yeah, flip our pages to 42, and there we have listening to unit 2, listening to family secrets. Okay, we always start off with the vocabulary. Mostly we look at the vocab as the word, and maybe with the definition we look at if we can find any synonyms or antonyms. We're looking at it in the context of a sentence. We're looking at it in the context of a paragraph or a whole text. The point of this is that we are not only understanding what the word means, but we are also able to understand what it means within a context, because one word can have multiple meanings depending on the context it's in. Right? Okay, great. Now, bold-faced, outstanding words, those thick black words that are standing out. There's basically also phrases, yeah? So the first one, put the pieces together. That's a phrase. Why is it a phrase? Because it doesn't have a subject and a verb, right? So then words put together is a phrase. Reincarnated, uncanny, elating, and mule over. Okay, now they're here in the context of a short paragraph. Match the words or phrases on the left with the definitions and synonyms on the right. So how did you guys do that? I want to ask if any of you wants to volunteer to annotate. Do I have any volunteers? Anyone? It's hard to do it on your phone though. Aline, I saw your name pop up. Are you good with annotating?
No, sorry, I can't. I'm using phone.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if you can do it with your phone though. It's hard, yeah. Better with a laptop. Okay then. Guys, by the way, for your Moodle app, if you want to look at your grades, if you want to check like have I done everything already or what have I forgotten to do, you can just go to the Google sheet that I placed in Moodle. Yeah, that's the easiest way. But there's a catch to it. If you open it up on your handphone, it becomes all mixed up because the tabs, the horizontal bottom, the bottom tabs, which give the name of every separate activity from your ebook and journal and log also and post test and unit test. In your phone, it kind of becomes blue writing in the middle of your screen. You can't move that. So it's very hard to see. So my advice is to open it up on the laptop. That's where it's really clear. And then if, for example, your name pops up yellow, that means you haven't done it yet. If you have done it, but your score is not in there, it's yellow, your name is yellow, you still have to do it because that means that your yours is not recorded. Okay, so please check it also for the sake of knowing whether you have all of your work recorded, yes or no. At the same time, you can look at your grades so you can analyze how you have been doing in Unit 1. Yeah, remember that for the ebook, that is also to upgrade your scores. So the ebook is very important. Yeah, it's important because it also functions like a remedial. It's like an extra practice. So you have to do all of them. Yeah, you cannot leave out any task undone because I can't finalize your grade if you haven't. Okay, so make sure that you do that. Okay, let's start with number 1. I'm just gonna call out names. Yeah, is there anyone who would want to volunteer to start off with answering?
See,
Can you read it out? That would be great if you can read it out.
figure out something puzzling.
Yeah. Very good. Thank you, Dorothy. Yeah, so Peter Pete. Put the pieces together, figure out something puzzling. Okay. Okay, who would like to try number 2? Is there anyone who would like to try?
I want to try it, Miss.
Okay, cool. Marlicia, go ahead.
Reincarnated is E, born again in another body.
Yeah, right. We're getting another body. Good. Uncanning. Anyone else?
Can I, miss?
Yes.
It's D, strange and difficult to explain.
Yes. Uncanning. Strange and difficult to explain. Very good. Thank you. Elating. What is that? Sometimes, oh, sorry. Sometimes I'm so used to straight away mention a name, but I'd like to give you the chance to also out of yourself answer. Who was that just now? 5A. That's correct. 5 is A. This one, no. This would you say? Yeah, that leaves us with B, yeah? Sorry. Elating, exciting. And then mull over, the last one, definitely what we have last standing is A. So when you're mull over something, you're thinking about something. Any of you have any questions about these words and phrases? If not, then we're going to continue. Okay, cool. Always check your answers, yeah? The ones that you've gotten from your own listening. Okay, so this one is you gotta listen to the interview and circle the correct answer. So the comprehension of the audio. Concealing the truth is kind of lying. So you will hear filmmaker Paula Rappaport discuss the time when she uncovered her family's secret and she made a documentary film about this important part of her life. You supposedly have already done this by yourself, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you listen to it one more time just for the sake of those who haven't and for the sake who've already done it, you can just check your answers one more time, okay?
Part 1.
Many years after my father died, I had found a small photograph of a young boy that resembled him enormously in my father's desk, which had remained undisturbed for all those years. The picture was signed Pierre on the back, and I really didn't know what to do with it, even though it looked so much like my father, and he had certainly never mentioned having a child before. I knew he didn't have any other relatives other than us. That was over 10 years ago. When years later, my mother got a letter from Romania signed with the name Pierre, which was the same name on the back of the picture, we started to put the pieces together, and I thought perhaps this is someone who's looking to find his lost family. And in fact, after a short exchange of letters between me and this stranger, Pierre, in Bucharest, he finally acknowledged that his father was my father.
So the photograph that you found in the drawer was, in fact, your long lost half brother.
That's who it was. I mean, the suspicion was right that he was our long lost brother or half brother living in Bucharest all that time. And then I had never been to Romania, but I had an opportunity to go. Actually, my husband was shooting a documentary there. So I kind of piggybacked and went along, and I met Pierre for the first time. And it was an absolutely extraordinary experience to see him waiting for me at the airport with a little bouquet of flowers. And it was as though I were seeing my father reincarnated standing there, because he resembles him almost identically.
He looks a lot like the photographs of your father in the film.
Yeah, it's really uncanny.
Your father had never told you or your sister anything about a son that he had had in Europe.
No, he was really incredibly successful at keeping this secret from us.
Part 2.
Okay, now let me ask first, what about 1, 2, and 3? I would like to ask Aline. Aline, can you answer number 1?
B. Someone who resembled her father.
Yeah, very good. It's B. Yeah. So in the desks, you found a photo of someone who resembles her father. Very good. Thank you. Number 2, we go to Timothy. Hi, Timothy. Titi. Good morning, Timothy. Okay, no Timothy. Gonna ask Daphne. Daphne, good morning. Daphne? No, Daphne. Switch class.
Daphne is still connecting, Miss.
Yep. Kirana, can you do number 2?
Number 2 is B. Pierre.
Yeah. So received a letter written by Pierre. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna ask Yorin. Good morning, Yorin.
Yes, Miss.
Hi, can you do 3? Still later, Poland went to Romania too? To do what?
A. Meet Pierre.
Yeah, very good. Those are her husband was doing the movie thing, right? Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Will you continue?
My father was very secretive about the period in his life when he lived in Romania. In fact, he was secretive about the period of his life when he lived in France prior to meeting my mother.
Daddy was a secretive person, and people who had to run from, Gestapo persecution, I think, became secretive as a matter of survival.
Okay, I'm going to ask Cynthia Dewey. Alice, can you answer number 4? Alice? No, Alice. Okay, Kanaya. Good morning, Kanaya. Good morning, Kanaya. Okay, continue. Christian. Hi, Christian. Tommy. Good morning, Tommy. Tommy. We'll just keep calling names then. Abel. Good morning, Abel. Abel. Angel. Good morning, Angel. Angel. Eric. Eric. Hi, Ano.
Hello.
Hi, finally. It's like after 7 names or something. Ah! Can you do number 4? Paula says that her father was very secretive. Did you catch why?
Because he had to run from persecution.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sad. So it's A. Yeah. Running from
I find the story very interesting because I listened to it last week.
yeah. It's all
It was
yeah. It
very
is.
yeah.
Mhm. Can you
It's
imagine?
very
Yeah, sorry.
it's very interesting, you know.
Can you imagine it as you? Ah, it's kind of sad in a way, though. You know, when that happens to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for your answer. Okay, we're gonna continue. You're gonna listen to the rest of it. Please answer number 5 and 6. Yeah.
Part 3.
So, how did you, as a filmmaker and as a person, go into uncovering these secrets when you have a family legacy and teaching of maybe this is not such a good thing to explore secrets? Was it scary for you? Was it elating for you? Did you have a feeling that you were trespassing on forbidden ground?
Oh, all of those things actually, but the feeling of trespassing was actually very elating. It was very exciting to get into this territory. I think I used to kind of mull over these things alone and come up with all kinds of um, images of what things could be and ideas of what things could be. And so, actually, to open it up and have a real situation where I could uncover these things that were forbidden to me was actually very exciting.
Do you think that there's any relationship between the family secrets and the experience of being lied to?
You know, you can't blame people for lying. I think sometimes they're trying to go for a higher value, like not hurting someone else. But I must say, I think the truth is always best because eventually it's going to come out. Particularly, I mean, people are smart and children are really smart and they know something isn't right when something isn't right. I think they know when something's being kept from them on some level, often nonverbal with children. And so eventually, sometimes the truth doesn't come out, but there's always going to be a hole in your experience, like an emptiness or something that's not right and out of order, if this kind of secret is kept in families.
Yeah. It is something though, what she's talking about. Yeah, can you imagine that you don't know and then suddenly you find out? And how she talks about that she was so happy that the truth was revealed. Yeah, she must have wondered all her life. Okay, let me see. Jordi, can you answer number 5? Jordi. Okay. Grady, good morning, Grady.
Yeah.
Hi, can you answer number 5?
Mm. Bentar, Miss. Saya tadi nggak terlalu jelas dengarnya, Miss.
You
Kayaknya.
Yeah, you should have listened to it at home by yourself, right? You're supposed to do that last week.
Udah, Miss, saya udah kerjain, lupa.
Oh, do you have your book with you? Yeah, it's A. 4 is A. 5. When she found the photo, Paula had a feeling of trespassing, which made her feel B. Happier and freer because she felt like the truth was revealed. Okay, thank you, Grady. Number 6, I'm going to ask Sam Ryan. Sam Ryan. Gaby. Good morning, Gaby.
Morning.
Hi, can you do number 6? Paula believes that especially for children, which one is it? A or B?
A.
Yeah, good. Thank you. The truth is always better. Yeah, Awesome. Okay, any questions, guys, about the comprehension of the audio? No? Okay, then we continue with our listening skill, yeah? Identifying speaker attitudes. Now, this is the thing. A lot of people are just looking at language as in what the person is trying to say, trying to understand what someone else is saying. But basically, by the way a speaker talks, we can find underlying meaning. We can look at the expression, facial expression, the gestures. We can look at simply the tone of the voice, the pronunciation, the intonation, especially going up and down with your voice, the emphasis the speaker is making. You kind of can think like, hey, what is this person saying? What he's not really saying, underlying meaning, implied meaning, deeper understanding, which is actually communicated by the whole attitude, posture, or the way the person is talking. Yeah. So you can identify a whole lot from how someone speaks. Now, that's what we're going to look at. Like, what is it that we can derive or get from a speaker to know the attitude of a person? Now, here you have to listen to the short exchanges between the interviewer and Paula. Now, identify Paula's attitude or feelings that have been prompted by the interviewer's questions. Then imagine that you are Paula and think about how you would have felt if you had been asked the same question.
Excerpt 1.
He looks a lot like the photographs of your father in the film.
Yeah, it's really uncanny.
Okay, it's very short. But from this question and from this answer, we can basically imply or infer how Paula feels. Now, we want to know that. So I'm going to ask David. Good morning, David. David. No? Okay. Michelle. Good morning, Michelle.
Morning, Miss.
Hi, can you answer number 1? How's Paula feeling?
It's A, uncomfortable.
Yeah, and how do you know that? How do you know that you think she's uncomfortable? Basically, actually, Michelle, I would say C. Now, tell me why you think she's uncomfortable.
Why is that?
Yeah, that's what the thing. That's why I was asking you. It's funny how you ask back. Yeah, so she's not uncomfortable. The reason why I say she's thoughtful, because what she's saying is just, yeah, that's really uncanny. If she's uncomfortable, she wouldn't answer like that. If she's uncomfortable, she'd probably, well, yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe, the whole way the person would talk would be different. If she would be relieved, she would say, oh, wow, finally. Oh, that's relief. But she was answering like, well, yeah, that's uncanny. So she was more like thinking while she was saying it. So that's thoughtful. Like she was more into thought and thinking about the question and realizing, like, oh yeah, my dad was actually like that. So that's why it's thoughtful. Does that make sense or not if I say it that way? So
Excerpt 1.
Yes.
He
I
looks a lot
thought
like
that
photographs of
thought.
your father in the film.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's really uncanny.
sorry, Michelle. We collided. Yeah, so if she said, yeah, that was really uncanny. Does that make sense if you hear that?
Yeah. At first, I thought that thoughtful is a positive reaction.
Yeah.
Turns out it's not.
I think, maybe it's neutral. Yeah, when you're thoughtful, when you're thoughtful enough for, you're not against. You're more like thinking, like, oh yeah, benar juga sih. Something like that. Like you're still like in the middle. Okay. Anyone else who has a question about that? Then we're gonna go to the next one. Yeah. This is interesting. We're trying to figure out what someone feels. The interviewer asks a series of short, direct questions to get Paula to share her feelings about uncovering the secret. Now, at this moment, how does Paula feel about the discovery? Let's figure that one out.
Excerpt 2.
Was it scary for you? Was it elating for you? Did you have a feeling that you were trespassing on forbidden ground?
Oh, all of those things actually, but the feeling of trespassing was actually very elating. It was very exciting to get into this territory
Okay, now you need to know also that you gotta think of paraphrases. Yeah, there's synonyms used, so you will not find the exact same word. Okay, I'm going to ask Geraldi. Good morning.
Morning, Miss.
Yeah, hi. Can you do number 2?
Uh,
How does Paula feel about the discovery? Just finding out that she has a half brother. She used the word elated.
wait, Miss. I think C.
Yeah. Elated means when you feel happy, yeah? Yeah. She was thrilled. She was, yeah, for her. I think it was in a one way also a relief or so for her. Like the finally it would be over. Okay, thank you.
Excerpt 3.
Do you think that there's any relationship between the family secrets and the experience of being lied to?
No, you can't blame people for lying.
Okay, so at this moment, how does Paula feel towards her father for keeping this family secret? Wait. Jonathan Arya. Jonathan Arya. Jonathan. Joe. Michael. Good morning, Michael. Michael.
Oh, yes, Miss.
Okay, Michael, can you answer number 3?
Um,
How does she feel towards her dad? Is she accepting? Is she angry? Is she confused? If you listen to her voice, the way she talks, does she sound angry or accepting, or does she sound confused? What do you think? What does it sound like to you?
I think it's C, confused.
Okay. Can you tell me why you think it's C? Is there something in the way she spoke that makes you convinced that she's confused? What is it that shows you that?
I'm sorry, Miss. To be honest, I don't listen to the listening.
Audio? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your honesty. Really appreciate that. Yeah, she was actually accepting because if you listen to her voice, she's not angry. She's more like, well, okay, it's out. It's out, the truth is out. That's what it is. Okay, are there any questions about this?
And apa namanya?
Yeah, Miss.
She
Hmm?
said dia bela bapaknya.
Yeah, in a way, right? You know what I think? I think that all her life she has been feeling this hole, this thing that something was off, but she never knew. And I think after so long that if you then finally find out the truth, that it is more a relief because it finally makes sense and it's not so much as an emotional thing anymore, not so deep. Whereas maybe if she would know when she was little, maybe she would have been angry or so. But maybe she's older and wiser. I don't know. What do you guys think? But think about it if that would happen to you, Something, yeah? Wow. And this is funny because there's music on here in school. And I just finished my sentence and we're off to the next point and the music ended. It's like so weird. It was like an outro, like really, yeah, weird. Yeah,
Miss, by the way,
Yeah?
Jordy said he can't talk because his mic isn't working.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, friend, for telling me that. Yeah, well, he already answered at the beginning, so I figured he's in here in the room. Okay, we're gonna do the last part, which is connecting the listenings. is important because this is where you learn to correlate information and where you learn to analyze information. So we're going to look at some information from the first audio, concealment and lies from Paula's story, and the possible reasons for the concealment or lie. So from both, we're going to take some information. Yeah. Fill in the chart with the concealments and lies, and then write which of Ackman's 9 reasons for lying might apply in each case. So we have the story, Paula's story, which is actually listening to, yeah. And then we have the reasons that come from Ackman's 9 reasons for lying. So this is audio 2, audio 1. And how do they match? Okay, is there anyone who would want to try this out? Otherwise, I'm just going to give you the answers, and then you're going to cross-check which ones you've got correct. Is there maybe anyone who would like to try? No? Okay. Then it's quite long though. What about if I read it to you? Would that be okay?
Okay, miss.
Yeah? Okay, so if you're looking at the first one, concealments and lies from Paula's story, here number 1. Paula's father never told his daughter he had a son with a woman who was not her mother. So the first one here is that Paula's dad never told the truth that he has a son with someone else. Yeah, that's this one. Now we're going to look at the reasons for concealment. Ackman talks about 9 reasons why people lie, right? Now, the reason for lying that is connected to this point is to maintain privacy and can also be to protect others. So one of the reasons why people lie, according to Ackman, is to maintain privacy and or to protect others. That might be the reasons, 2 reasons, for why the father didn't want to tell that he had a kid with someone else. Now we go to the second point in Paula's story. Paula's father never revealed much about his life and friends. So basically, Paula and her mom didn't know that he had a life and friends or what went on. He didn't tell. Now, what would be the reason for him not telling about his life and friends? That could be to avoid physical harm or to protect others to avoid punishment. Yeah, that's what Ackman's reasons would be. So there are 3, yeah? Avoid physical harm, 2, to protect others, 3, to avoid punishment. That brings us to the last point in Paula's story, which is Pierre didn't tell his father's family who or where he was. So Pierre also did not look for the family in the US or try to connect. And probably one of the reasons taken from Ackman's reasons for lying could be to protect others. Because if he would come and the truth will be revealed, it might bring pain. And that's one of the reasons why some people choose not to tell the truth, withhold the truth, because they don't want to hurt other people. So basically those. Now, if you're looking at that information from both texts, now what do you do when you synthesize? When you synthesize, you use the information from multiple sources to create something new. That can become a speech, a debate, it can be an essay, writing, a summary, anything. So basically use different sources, use the sources together to create something new. In this case, you are supposed to do a role play, a creative role play, or a conversation. Now, I told you didn't have to do that, but that was actually what you could have done by looking at the information from organizing. I just need you guys to really understand that synthesizing is very important, and it's a part of college and career life that you have to be able to not only understand concepts and things and ideas, but you have to be able to correlate them. And then you have to be able to do something with it to create something else, either to report it back or to write about it or to speak. That whole analytical way of thinking is very important in uni and career life. Okay, so any questions? So far, so good. Then I'm gonna. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I said no. No question.
Okay, cool then. Now we're gonna look at our unit schedule just to peek what it is that we've got to do this week. Remember, your focus this week is on step 4 for your project. So this week you should be doing your outline for your speaking test. Yeah, you already did the brainstorming, you already did the researching. So now Try to put your ideas within in the correct outline. If you've got questions, ask me. Yeah. For your post study for today's material, right? You're going to do the activities unit 2 listening 2 in the ebook for listening and speaking. Remember that I already opened the links, so you can just access that. It's only 2 activities, I think. Yeah, so it's a review for today's material. And for the pre-study, which is your self-study for next week's material for our Zoom meeting, please watch the video. I already gave you the link last Monday. Watch the video, Unit 2, Reading 2, and do the activities in your textbook for reading and writing. Please do it because it'll help you. So you do your self-study first, try to do the activities while watching the video, right? And then in the Zoom meeting, we check it together. And then for your post-study, you've got one more activity. So basically, guys, you should be very good at everything by the end of the unit, yeah? Okay. Anything to ask about your essay or your speaking test? Oh, by the way, please look at, as I said, look at your Google Sheet. I already also put in the results of the journal book, yeah? Please access your journal book, open it up because you will see my editing. You will see that on the right margin, there are notes added by me, like as in what you did good or what needs improvement, what you should do better. I do have to say that for this journal, I was very gracious in my grading since it's the start of the year and also a huge adjustment for all of you with this whole pandemic situation. So I was very gracious in my grading, but please look at it so you know what you should improve for Unit 2. Okay, the log I will upload the scores this week. Also inside the Google form. So basically, if you access the Google form in Moodle, you will have all your grades there. If you see a mistake, please let me know. Yeah, we're only human. Let's help each other out in that. Yeah. Awesome beans. Remember that I cannot give your grade to your Valley if you haven't done all your work. So please finish up your work really fast. Yeah. Okay. No questions anymore? Then I'm expecting from the class secretary a clear report. Yeah. Don't forget straight away to give me what is that? Notification of who was late and who was absent. Okay. Okay, awesome. Now, I thank you very much. Have a great week, a great day today. God bless you, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Miss.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you, Miss.